My first guess on this very worrying subject, and yes, I'm going interactive on it, I will open the lines, is Ranjit Kumar, former Solicitor General of India. He's been senior advocate and Amicus Curiae in the Aravalli cases since 1995. Not presently, though. So, Mr. Ranjit Kumar, thank you. I think this is very disastrous. You have been Amicus Curiae in the case. Something has changed in the last 3 years from protecting the Aravallis completely to allowing the destruction of the Aravallis in the last 3 years, and now they are saying anything below 100 meters can be destroyed. So India's most ancient mountain range is going to be destroyed. What choice do people have? Can you tell us why this change has happened?
Well, I can't really say why there is a change that has happened with respect to why the Aravallis should at all be disturbed for mining, because there is a judgment which was rendered by the Supreme Court not once, twice, but thrice.
Yes.
And that is right from 2002, then 2005, up to 2018.
Yeah.
That there will be no mining in the Aravallis.
Yeah.
All the Aravalli minings were closed down.
Yeah.
And after the closure of that minings, the water recharge happened to a great extent, and there is afforestation. If you see, go down to Faridabad, where most of it was happening, in the hills of the Aravalli at the Faridabad and in Gurgaon areas, and there is a government notification of the Forest Department which also banned it. And the Supreme Court upheld that, and that order, that judgment has not been altered. So in my respectful submission, if a judgment of the court has not been altered, a direction being issued in an order that no, you have to reconsider this in this manner is, according to me, not in accordance with law, and therefore it needs to be revisited by the Supreme Court itself.
So, but the Supreme Court doesn't understand that the environmental impact, or Supreme Court doesn't care?
No, I won't say that the Supreme Court doesn't care. According to me, all the assistance that is required from the Supreme Court by placing all the judgments that are already existing, which has, according to me, probably, I say with all due respect and a disclaimer, probably have not been brought to the notice of the court when this order was passed. It was appropriate for somebody to have brought this.
No, why has the Supreme Court become pro-mining? Sir, 1 minute. So the Supreme Court should not have any interest in mining. Why did the Supreme Court refuse to ban ongoing mining in a fragile ecological zone? Because in its order, the court has mentioned multiple times that the ongoing mining in the Aravalli Hills will not be banned by the court. Para 27, we do not propose to impose any such ban on the present legal mining activities that are already happening. Then, Para 48, the court in an earlier occasion noticed that the ill consequences of imposing a complete ban on mining activity in the state of Bihar and others, blah, blah, blah. This is an extraordinary concession because the state cannot enforce the law. The court chooses to lower its environmental standards. Is judicial policy now shaped by fear of mafia rather than by constitutional duty? Why is administrative failure rewarded with regulatory relaxation? The court seems to take an extraordinary keenness in allowing mining to continue. Why?
According to me, there was a Punjab Act of 1901 which was sought to be enforced by the court, and that the Haryana Assembly had brought about a bill for the purpose of overcoming that, but that also the Supreme Court had restrained it, that you will not take any action with reference to any act because the matters are pending in Supreme Court. So I don't know what subsequently has happened, because I had left all these matters as amicus some 4 or 5 years ago. And I am not abreast with everything, but I definitely read, when I read the news about this order to define what is a mountain under the Aravallis, I was definitely alarmed by it. And if it will,
so the court now decides whatever mountain tomorrow with the respect to the courts, suppose a 2-judge bench or 3-judge bench sits and says, I don't think these are the Himalayas. I mean, the way things are going, The Supreme Court of India can say tomorrow, these are not the Himalayas, you construct a casino there. Nothing happens. Mining must continue. Is this the way the court operates, sir? The court was warned, the court knows, the honorable court cannot pretend to be ignorant, sir. The court was warned that the environment ecology will be destroyed. The court was warned, sir. The court has chosen in its infinite wisdom to disregard the warnings, allow the green barrier to be destroyed, allow a mountain range to be destroyed. The Supreme Court of India is allowing a mountain range to be destroyed. Ranjit Kumar ji, we cannot be quiet about this. People will speak up. The court has arrogated upon itself the right in its ultimate self-given wisdom, the godlike status of deciding what is a mountain range and what is not. Sir, I am sorry, with greatest of respect to the courts, the godlike status the courts have given up. The gods created the mountains, sir, not the Supreme Court.
Through the aquifers.
I don't know.
The mountain, there are aquifers which are second, third thing below, and all the water goes in there, it recharges the water table.
Which means
the water table in the entire
the court knows that aquifers will go, the country will be destroyed.
And these were the ways. And secondly, you don't want a desertification of Delhi. The judgment of the court says on a scientific basis that if the Aravallis were destroyed, there will be desertification of Delhi.
Terrible.
So what Delhi may become is a desert, which according to me is a very, very appalling kind of situation if it were to happen.
Sir, it's...
So according to me, the Aravallis should be protected, ought to be protected. And
reverse the order, reverse the order, reverse the order, rethink the order is what I say tonight.
Supreme Court to
Sir,
have
the
a
Supreme Court is not infallible. We have a lot of respect for the Supreme Court, but maybe it did not consider all facts before coming to this judgment. Ranjit Kumar, former Solicitor General, I thank you very much, sir. You've been Amicus Curiae in the case. You've been great to start the debate. I thank you very much. I want to open up the debate. Ladies and gentlemen, Save Aravalli campaign social activist Shubhra Puri, MD Sinha, former Principal Secretary to the Government of Haryana, Citizen Voices Kavita Maharishi,